This is the Lobo postgame show. Once again, Robert Portnoy.
Lobos 83, San Diego State 70 is the final. You're locked into the Lobo basketball postgame show. You know what I'm craving after today's win? Fresh strawberries and raspberries dipped in chocolate and New Mexican flavored candy from the Candy Lady. The Candy Lady offers the best candy in New Mexico. To celebrate today's win, make sure to swing by the Candy Lady in Albuquerque's Old Town. They're home for almost 4 decades. Perfect for when you're in the mood for that perfect treat or when you need the perfect gift for all occasions. The Lobos and the Candy Lady. New Mexico traditions for over 30 years. Hunter, what a win for New Mexico tonight against San Diego State. 83-70 here in front of more than 10,000 in Dreamstyle Arena, the Pit. How badly was this one needed?
Oh, greatly needed. And I tell you what, the fans showed them some love, too, after the game. They stood, they applauded, they waited, they high-fived them. I mean, they can appreciate the work the Lobos have been putting into this to win a game. I mean, they've been, putting together halves the last couple of games, but tonight, they were able to put together a full game.
Had to wait a long time for it, too. 9 p.m. start. And for the more than 10,000 that came out tonight, so late on a Tuesday night, midweek, to accommodate ESPN2 television, it was worth the wait.
It was. And, we saw a couple of young Lobos grow up tonight so late. Drew Drennan, huge as a freshman, stepped up.
Second half.
Quality minutes, handling the ball, the pressure, getting to the rim, scoring the basketball. I mean, just doing those things, the small things, the details, right? And, just it was fun to watch. That's what I like about this game. We start in November, and here we are in February. We see these guys just really mature. And, hey, they're not done yet. I mean, they're going to get better.
The Keith McGee show in the first half, the Drew Drennan show down the stretch of the second half. 83-70, final. Lobos beat the Aztecs at Dreamstyle Arena, the Pit. We're back after this. It's Lobo basketball from Learfield IMG College. (83-70) final. Lobos defeat the Aztecs in Dreamstyle Arena, the Pit. You're locked into the Lobo basketball postgame report. The Lobos had 4 Everguard Solar and Everguard Roofing slam dunks tonight. Yeah, 4 rim rockers at $10 a dunk. That's $40 to All Faiths. All Faiths serves over 2,500 children and their families every year by teaching them how to prevent abuse and guiding them as they recover from it. Help us give children back their childhood. Learn more by visiting allfaiths.org. There was a media-based theme surrounding this game. The matchup between 2 teams picked to be second and third in the league and having disappointing seasons. Well, the Aztecs came in rolling, having vaulted to 4th in the conference standings, 3 consecutive wins, and in position to make a run.
Yeah.
The Lobos, yes, struggling, but not out of it in terms of salvaging the season by any means. Maybe they can start to rewrite that media script that has been, one that's been perpetuated here of late. This was a big win for New Mexico.
Oh, big win. I mean, from just the psyche. Just, the guys have, after you lose 3 in a row, you just feel like everything's broken, right? And they were able to work on a few things and get better at them. And as we saw in the last 2 or 3 games, where they really were able to put together halves, but not a full game. And tonight, they put together a full game.
And they found a way to score. Shots fell at a 52% clip tonight, and the Lobos assisted 13 times on 28 field goals. You said it was the ball movement.
Oh, ball movement, and, of course, the creation off the dribble by Keith McGee.
Unbelievable. Lobos a winner. Final score 83-70 over San Diego State. Back after this timeout. Lobo basketball from Learfield, IMG College. We're back live inside Dreamstyle Arena, the Pit. New Mexico 83, San Diego State 70. A game that the Lobos trailed by as many as 11 in the first half. They led by as many as 20 in the second half. Who saw that coming? That run. The Lobos at one point had a massive run, a 16-point scoring run in the second half. All right, it's time for our State Farm Insurance Assist of the game. When great plays happen, this is McGee between the legs bounce, whips it to the cutting Malawak for the 2-hand flush. A backdoor cut by Quanch. McGee found him for the hammer. There it is your State Farm Insurance Assist of the game, presented by State Farm Insurance. Get an agent that gets you. We get to a break. The Lobos, a winner, 83-70 over the heated rival San Diego State Aztecs. This is Lobo basketball from Learfield IMG College. Welcome back inside Dreamstyle Arena, the Pit, on the Lobo basketball postgame show. New Mexico 83, San Diego State 70. Yeah, the team that beat the Lobos by 23 weeks ago fell hard tonight in Albuquerque. All right, time to select our PNM Reliable Player of the Game. Really, there was no doubt. He controlled the contest throughout in the first 20 minutes and was solid again after intermission before getting some help from his young teammate Drew Drennan. But your game changer tonight for the Lobos, the PNM Reliable Player of the Game, is Keith McGee. McGee right down the middle of the key, scores and he's fouled. It'll be Mensa. Keith McGee is having the game of his life. Yeah, indeed. Keith McGee, the PNM Reliable Player of the Game. PNM delivers reliable energy to you 24/7. Community partners, PNM, adding cleaner resources, including more solar and wind energy. Working to build a strong, sustainable energy future for New Mexico. Talk to us at pnm.com, where you can manage your account and learn how to save money on your electric bill. Your PNM Reliable Player of the Game, Keith McGee. Lobo head coach Paul Weir is alongside now for postgame coach's comments. The Lobos win at 83-70 over rival San Diego State. And Coach Weir, you flipped the script from 3 weeks ago. You lost by 20 to this team on the road. First off, tell us about that defense you threw at him tonight. It was fantastic.
Yeah. By the way, if you're still listening, God bless you. I mean, what is it, 2 in the morning right now? I don't know what time it is, but thank you. Yeah, it's actually the same defense we've kind of played the last couple of games. Just kind of matching up in a zone. I thought early San Diego State, came out and was exceptional. Yeah. We probably overreacted a little bit to that, but went to a 1-3-1 to see if we get them a little bit out of rhythm. It's something we used a little bit earlier in the year, and we've practiced mostly because Jalen McDaniels is such a terrific player in that high post area. We just thought going to that would at least just stop him from getting those catches. Then as the game went on, we went back to our matchup, which we've practiced a ton of here of late, and we're really just kind of rotating guys on McDaniels because he was such a hard guard. We talked about it at halftime. I think they had, let me look it up now, they had 37. I think he had 17 of that. He was just terrific. And really, when we looked through the matchups, he was actually scoring on our bigs more than our guards. So we tried to get some more guards on him in the second half when we were kind of matching up a little bit. I thought McQuatch had some great stops on him there. Vance had a good couple there too. We were just trying to keep a good, fresh, live body on him that we felt was a good matchup. Keith actually did a pretty good job a couple times as well. So he's such a terrific player. I mean, you can see the talent. I hope it's his last year in a San Diego State uniform. He's exceptional, yeah. and he showed that. Yeah. So it really just came down to us saying, guys, someone else has to, we've got to stop him somehow, some way. And again, first half, I thought it was great. First 4 minutes, he was great. He made that three. He made a really tough runner kind of over the backboard there. But I thought over the course of the game, we were able to just keep him at bay enough to give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, you guys went to that matchup zone, and he was still killing it. He was 4 for 4, yeah. And then you call the timeout and adjusted. And part of it is a guy like that, like you said, I mean, he's going to score. You just want to make it more difficult for him to do that. And I thought your defense was tremendous. You look at the guard play, especially from McGee and Mathis, and then, of course, Drew Drennan coming in. The guard play, you look at, Watson and Hemsley weren't really a factor.
Yeah.
If one guy's going to beat you, so be it, but yeah. You're not going to let those other guys, and you guys took them out of it.
No,
completely.
We did, and I was so disappointed, and after the Fresno game, because we just kind of conceded the backcourt, and we walked back, and they jogged it up, and they were in a rhythm off the bat, and we showed all those clips really today, and then we went into this San Diego State game. We have to pressure those guys, and we can't get them just comfortably jogging the ball up the court, and I thought that backcourt pressure early, it gave us a little bit of turnovers, and then they actually took some quick shots, which for us was huge because we were just trying to keep the ball out of McDaniel's hands. So, that backcourt pressure for us, I thought, really kind of set the tone for the rest of the possession. And that was unfortunately something that we were pleading with them all Fresno game, but we just couldn't quite get it. So hopefully that's something going forward we'll be able to do a better job of and just get that backcourt, even if it's just 8 seconds, just something to kind of at least get the aggressor being us kind of starting the possession.
Yeah, no question. The defense set the tone. Shifting gears to offense, I thought, offensively, the ball movement was better.
Yep. That's all we've talked about. We haven't run a single play since Fresno. Rob was at our last practice. We ran 1-minute possessions of passing the basketball and spacing and cutting and screening and movement. And really, that's how we played last year. That was what we were very good at. We tried to start out that way this year, I think because things weren't going as well as I would have liked or maybe we would have liked. I made it more individualized, and in retrospect, that's something I wish I didn't do. It became about Anthony or Carlton or this person or that person, and I shouldn't have done that. And really, over the last going into Fresno and going into this, it's like, guys, it's team basketball, and I don't care of how that's going to go. We're going to move the basketball. We're going to pass. We're going to cut. We're going to share it. And if that means Rob gets 30 points tonight and Hunter gets 2, then that's the way it's going to go. And if that flips, then that's the way it's going to go. And if that means Keith has a great night, then Keith has a great night. And we just play as a team. We move the basketball, and we become hard to guard as a unit as opposed to worrying about kind of one or two guys. And as a result, and San Diego State's actually been playing very good defense lately. They haven't necessarily had a great year, but their season's kind of turned over the last few weeks because they've really done a good job on the defensive end. So to kind of have this kind of an offensive game and shoot 54% against a team of this caliber is encouraging for us being able to hopefully do this going forward.
We talked about what you said about that first possession against Fresno State on Saturday, and you and I discussed it again in today's pregame, and Hunter and I talked about it, and he mentioned the ball movement mid-game, and I immediately went to the assists, and it does feel like your field goal percentage tracks the assists relative to the number of field goal makes. When that number of assists is up, that field goal percentage goes up, and that means you're moving the ball. Yeah, no, it was good. I'm happy that we talk about a lot of things going into a game, and there's, you'll look back and go, man, we tried to do these 3 or 4 or 5 things and we only did 1 or we only did 2, but this was one we've talked about, and it was good to actually go out and see guys execute. Not all the time, there's a couple little hiccups here and there, and we'll address those with other players or whatever, but overall as a unit, the guys are still chipping and grinding, which given our record and given how things are going, is a testament to them. That shows kind of some mental toughness and some unselfishness in these times. We went through, as you guys came into the second half of today's game, with a chance to win, down just 1, and you fell behind double digits the first half, and you were able to quell that and stay in the game early when they were hot. We counted just as fairly as we could. There were 7 games. Some you might have led by a little or trailed by a little or, trailed by 8 or 10, but games that were potential games that you could win in the second half and weren't able to do that. You guys had a 16-point run in the second half today. What did you see from your team in the second half? We talked about finishing earlier today.
Yeah, no, I told them at halftime, I thought that first 3 minutes couldn't have gone any worse from any way, shape, or form. We climbed back, then they took another 7-point lead. We climbed back, then they took another 7-point lead, and then we climbed back by halftime. And I told the guys, I don't think I've seen that this year. I don't think I've seen us getting busted out of the gate like that, then be down 7 and grind back, then be down another 7 or 8 and grind back. It might even be more than that, actually, the second time. But we were down multiple times, and we've been in those situations before, and unfortunately not shown that resolve that many times in a row. And I said, look, I'm not even going to come in here and get upset. I'm going to come in here and say, good job. We withstood it. We withstood maybe their best 3 minutes of the season. We withstood multiple runs on the other end, and we're sitting here and we can live to tell about it. This is what's been happening to us lately. This is what's been happening to us. We've walked in going, Jesus, they're up 2. We played great. We're walking in here in a 1-point game, and we just withstood some serious stuff. So let's go out and play for our way for 20 minutes and go do what we did. And thankfully, the game kind of went our way in that half.
Coach, talk about the play of McGee and Drennan. I mean, we sit here, and I'm all game. I'm like, we're watching these guys grow up right in front of our eyes. What is it? Is it you trusting them and giving them that?
We talked about it because we do starting by deflections, and Keith started, I think, 3 games ago was his first start, and he started 3 poor games. He's had 3 poor games in a row. He just has. And it was right when we started him. And he's already told me earlier in the year, Coach, I think I might prefer to come off the bench anyways. And, I'm nervous, whatever it may be. And I told the coach today, I said, hey, at the end of the day, he's a sophomore. He needs to learn how to do this. We're starting him. I don't care. It's part of the growth process. He's going to figure this thing out. And it might not be this game. It might be 5 games from now. It might be in the Mountain West Conference tournament. He needs to be able to have the ability to go out, get through those nerves, and go play a good basketball game. So from that standpoint, yes. I saw that today, the first time of okay, he's mentally, potentially mentally ready now to kind of be a guy as a sophomore, which is encouraging. The Drew thing, obviously, was a very, even just pleasant surprise. And I said that earlier. I think there's been a lot of questions about our point guard position and who should play and are they good enough, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the reality is Drew has not put the pressure on me or anyone to sit there and say, let's make this a controversy. Let's make this, whether it's practice games, whatever. I go, but tonight he did that. Now you go back and go, okay, now we got something to think about. Now we got something to worry about. And that's a testament to him, and that's a credit to him. So hopefully now going forward, now we have tough decisions to make. And shoot, I love those tough decisions. I'd much rather have that than what we were kind of going through a little earlier.
How did you get their bigs in foul trouble tonight? And it seemed like it happened pretty quickly, and then all of a sudden looked down, and their entire front court had 3 fouls.
Yeah, I think the ball movement, man, I thought we were just really moving the basketball. And I think when you're moving teams side to side like that and guys are on the run, they have a bigger lineup, so they had to get McDaniels on the perimeter at times. And we were just trying to get the ball moving and get guys, late to react. And then, you pick up stuff at the rim. We're getting a lot of drives to the rim out of the things we were doing. And thankfully we were able to pick some up. And then we got there and made them, which was big because we've kind of gone on some stretches here where you get to the line and you miss, and you get to the line and you miss, and then you look up and you haven't scored in 4 possessions. So thankfully we were able to get up there and really knock those free throws down.
You also mentioned the rebounding in our pregame show, and you guys held your own. If not, actually it might be even considered a win since you out-rebounded them on the offensive end, after intermission. You held your own at 34-32 was the total number. Much better tonight?
Their offensive rebound, you can just see the size, everything they have out there. We probably missed 4 to 6 box outs that led to the rebounds they had of the 15, but the other 7 or 8 were just literally their size. They're tipping in a miss. They have all that. Those hands around the rim, man, and it's special. It's what makes them so good. So we knew going into the game it was going to be a really big key for us. Fortunately, we were able to keep McDaniels, as much as those shots are a problem, at least he was just shooting jump shots, and we were kind of limiting them to jump shots. He didn't have a ton of low post looks and scores. He had a few here and there, but the first game against them was just, they murdered us down around the rim. So that we did give up some rebounds, but I thought we did a lot better than we did in the first game.
Coach, this is a big win. I remember we also talked about the potential of what you could still do for the rest of the year, and you're just focused one at a time. But it's a start, and you have to feel pretty good about the way your team performed tonight.
I've said it here. I just said it, after the game. I think we're better than maybe people think. We're 1 possession away right now from being in a pretty good spot. Not a great spot, but a pretty good one. We're probably 1 or 2 off where we would want to be at this time. But given our schedule and given things that have gone on, we're still breathing right now. We still got a pulse, and we just got to keep kicking away at this thing, and hopefully some of these younger guys will continue to mature, and we can just become a really hard out in March like that. We just got to keep working towards that. So I've told you this, I've never really felt that bad. Our practices are good, our energy is good, our willingness to come back from multiple deficits today was good. We did the same thing against Utah State. This isn't a team that has packed it in. I don't go home at night and put my head on the pillow going, man, these guys are done. I don't, these guys, they work, man, and they have good attitudes about them and good energy. They're maybe not always the best coach. They're maybe not always the best, executed on the floor, but their hearts are in the right place, and we just got to keep working towards, hopefully a good end goal here.
And Coach, we feel the work. We can sense it. We feel it, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch the growth of the players and the coaching staff. You see how you guys, your strategies. A year ago, we'd be playing man-to-man.
Yeah.
But you've adjusted. You've grown. You could see the tweaks going back and forth. And it's like the matchup zone tonight, I thought that was key.
Yeah.
That was what turned it around for you, and it's just fun to watch. The Drennans and the McGees, get better. We know what Mathis can do. We know his leadership and his sacrifices, especially in the first half. I mean, I don't know if he even scored in the first half.
It's 2 home games in a row. He didn't have a point in the first half.
So he's okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
And lets those freshmen and the younger guys kind of take that lead because he knows they're keying in on him. So, no, it's just fun to watch, Coach. Just wanted you to know that.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
I got to follow up with one last one about McQuatch because you mentioned it briefly, but we were raving about his defense tonight and against bigger guys and contesting at the rim and the chase down block and the transition, and it was spectacular.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I thought us shrinking his minutes a little bit really helped him, particularly in the first half. I think we had 12 or 13 minutes, and we've talked about that. I've gone through everything with him, every stat from last year, everything from what's going on last year to this year. And quite honestly, we just might have been just burning him out a little bit, and he just might have needed, like last year he was in a nice little sweet spot of like a mid-20-minute thing, and he was in a good rhythm, and we've been getting him into these low to mid-30 games, and it's a lot. And I think, us shrinking it, I hopefully might make him just a little more lively on defense, a little more legs in his shot, a little more everything. And, we all have our sweet spot with playing time, and I think hopefully that's something that might trigger him here going forward. I'm trying everything, so hopefully that could be something.
Speaking of sweet, I don't think there's a Lobo fan anywhere that would say that there's nothing sweeter, would not say there is nothing sweeter than a win over San Diego State. Congratulations,
Thanks,
Coach.
guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Lobo head coach Paul Weir, our guest post-game coach's comments. All right, time for a pause. We come back. Lobos 83, Aztec 70, final Lobo basketball from Learfield.
Lobos a winner, 83-70 over the rival Aztecs of San Diego State. We wrap it up from Dreamstyle Radio to the Pit on your Lobo basketball postgame report. Next at Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino, the Overtime Call-In Show with J.J. Buck coming up locally in the Duke City. Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino, your home for winning entertainment, including simulcast racing. This copyrighted broadcast, an exclusive presentation of Learfield IMG College under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of New Mexico. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of New Mexico and Learfield IMG College. Announcers are provided by Learfield IMG College and approved by the University of New Mexico. The said announcers, my broadcast partner, Lobo legend Hunter Green. I'm Robert Portnoy. On-site engineer, Michael Carlisle. Producer and engineer, studios of Learfield IMG College. That would be Malik Taylor. Big thank you to Lobo head coach Paul Weir, generous with his time on our postgame as always. The Lobos travel, and the team they're playing is going to be out for blood. The Lobos will have to bring their A game on Saturday. It's the rematch with Nevada. It's coming up at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, airtime 3:30 with the Lobo basketball pregame show from the Lala Events Center in Reno. That is this weekend. Did you have any fun tonight?
Oh, yes, no question. Especially watching the young fellas grow up. I mean, just the play of, Keith McGee and Drew Drennan and, even Corey Manigat. I mean, he had flashes there offensively, defensively. He had a steal out in the midcourt. I mean, no, it was fun basketball. No
McGee,
question.
19 points to lead his team, 8 of 10 floor, 2 of 4 distance, and 1 of 1 from the foul line. 11 points from McQuatch Malawatch, 3 block shots, 3 of 9 field, 2 of 5 distance, 3 of 4 foul line. 17 points for Anthony Mathis, all the second half, 4 of 9 field, 3 of 8 distance, 6 of 6 foul line, 3 rebounds, 1 offensive, and 4 dimes for Tony. And just shy of a double-double was Carlton Bragg with 8 points and 11 caroms, 2 of them offensive. The Lobos a winner, 83-70 over the Aztecs, shooting 54% from the field. That's going to do it for us for tonight. Your final score for the final time. The Lobos improved to 10-12 and 4-6 in the Mountain West. The Aztecs dipped to 13-9 and 5-4 in league. The Lobos' 3-game skid is over. The Aztecs' 3-game winning streak is over. We can tell you elsewhere, a 2-point win on the road for Utah State at Fresno State. Utah State is second in the conference. Fresno State drops to third. J.J. Buck next. Your calls on the Overtime Call-In Show from the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. That's it for us for tonight. That final score for the final time. The Lobos win it over the Aztecs, 83-70. So long, everybody. This is Lobo Basketball from Learfield IMG College.